He now waits for the lights. So it's 5 lights. And it's lights out and away we go. And it's a pretty even start from everyone. And Mercedes got a good start of Charlie. There's Alpine at the back of that guy making a good start as well. But Hayes trying to go around the outside of Darkstorm into turn 1, and she's done it. Although Darkstorm hanging around the outside. There's a spin at the back of Charlie on those medium tyres. Not what he wanted. Adam Lee thought about trying to go for the dive bomb on Hayes into turn 3. But has to back out of it. And there's another spinner. Championship leader. That guy's round. He's dropped down the last. Nightmare start for him. Alan is now round as well. So we've had 3 spinners on that opening lap. Lembau was involved with that guy spin, I believe. And of course we saw Charlie lose it at turn 2 and Alan down at turns 5 and 6. But at the front, you got the front 5 breaking away. There's Codzilla. It's not within 1 second margin we will need, and there's a spinner of James. And almost comes back on the track in an unsafe manner right in front of the championship leader, that guy. As Fat Ted's now spun as well. So already half the field pretty much has spun. And Lembau has got damage from that guy incident. Now in France you do tend to see quite a lot of DRS trains. It's certainly the case for the most part of the F2 race on Thursday. But on that opening lap, Xhaka gaining 6 places at the big mover. Lembau and that guy both pitting. And both of them for the medium tyres, so they probably will have to pit again. I doubt the medium tyres will go right to the very end. So they've got pretty much hope for another safety car to come at one point. Darkstorm now, breaking at the 1 second margin to Hayes. Of course, after this lap, DRS will become enabled. It's Adam Lee trying to pile the pressure on Hayes. Already everyone's starting to spread out slightly. No one really, apart from Adam Lee. We've got Chicken Rosary and Halo that's within DRS range of someone else. As we start lap 3 with DRS enabled, Darkstorm's got a 1.4 second lead over Hayes in P2. And now we're going to see just how effective DRS can be, and Hayes letting a little squirrely out of turn 6. Could come under threat here from Adam Lee. And he's going to go for the move down the inside. Hayes and cuts him off, but Adam Lee's got a great exit. Tried to switch back, but in that second phase of the traction, just didn't have the exit he wanted. Now you can potentially go for a move in this one. It'll be very risky. You have to take the inside line, as he's tried to do. But it hasn't worked out for him. And now Drastic Blaze, these two battling, is really allowing Darkstorm to pull away as Xhaka is now around. Disaster for the guy who gained 6 places on the opening lap. And James is round again. in the same corner as last time. Back to P3 we go, the battle for P2. James has spun again. This time on the next corner. And that is James down to last place now. Once again, we see Hayes taking quite a different line to Adam Lee. Hayes tries to keep it wide as then swoops into it, but Adam Lee now with the DRS trying to go down the inside again. He's got the move done before the braking zone, although he would have exceeded track limits there. Can Hayes get a switchback on him? He's got a lot more ERS to play with. It's really what these two want to do. They don't want to batter each other. They need to try and tow each other up to the back of Darkstorm, really. Otherwise, we're just going to see a Darkstorm walkover like we saw in Britain. The Darkstorm pretty much dominated from the beginning. We've got Drastic Blaze just sitting behind these two, hoping for something to happen. So we know that Adam Lee does have a tendency to pick up penalties. Of course, in Canada he won the race with 12 seconds of pens. Meanwhile, Drastic Blaze has been the beneficiary of him picking up pens, as Adam Lee loses the rear end on the exit of turn 2. And Hayes was just a little too close to him, that she had to back out of the throttle just to make sure she doesn't collide with him. And now Blaine has joined this train. And while Darkstorm now has a 4-second lead after 4.5 laps. There's now another spinner for Chicken Rosary. Hayes is going to try and go down the inside. Wisely backs out of it. It's going to be quite brave to do a move down to the chicane that tightens on the exit, as Lembao's now round again. As Hayes going to try, Adam Lee's very wide off the track even. He's inviting Hayes to try and go down the inside. But Adam Lee on that wider line, just get the foot on earlier. Although Hayes is now going to have DRS for the next straight. He's got a very good exit compared to Blaze. Adam Lee equally getting a good exit. Although look at Drastic Blaze straight line speed. Almost thinking about a move on Hayes. And Hayes using a lot of curve there. The championship leader, that guy, already having a 3-second time penalty. And after already having pitted in this race. But here comes Hayes now with the DRS. Down the inside. She's got the move done, but Adam Lee looking to try and get the switchback now. Using all the ERS, he can pop out. And he's going to go straight back through. He brakes. Almost. Definitely lifting. And that's going to make Hayes now come under pressure from Blaze. This contact, and now Blaze is round. And Blaine very lucky to not collide, as is Godzilla. Lucky not to collide with Drastic Blaze. And now Drastic Blaze has paused it, I'm guessing, to clip it, and now his AI's done the stop on track. Charlie Zor, who was spun on lap 1, already back up into P6 now. As that guy, the championship leader, spun again. It's now a 3-car battle between Adam Lee, Hayes and Blaine. It's 5.5 seconds. Is the gap for Darkstorm. As we see these three, is Hayes going to be close enough to pull an attack on Adam Lee once again? And there's another spin at the back, it's Halo. He's just going to have to sit behind Adam Lee for another lap. Adam Lee still rinsing his ERS, whilst Hayes is gaining on him. So it does look like Adam Lee's potentially running a bit more downforce. And there's another spin of Chicken Rosary and Xhaka. Chicken Rosary having to cut the corner. He's got no front wing at all. Well, Xhaka's round, and we've got a BSC, have we? Yes, we have. So we've got a virtual safety car because Chicken Rosary had no front wing. And Charlie Dawes going to try and use this as a way to get on those hard tyres and get this cheap pit stop. Take those hard tyres to the end with the undercut as Fat Ted speeds in the pit lane and gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. As both Ferraris are missing their front wing. So what has happened to the Ferrari pair? Meanwhile, Xhaka carries on. Of course, we saw him getting spun in that battle, but here comes Hayes with the DRS and ERS. And then he moves back over to try and defend, but Hayes is just going to go round the outside. Yes, she does. Although once again we're going to try and see Adam Lee do the switchback, but he's not got the exit this time. Adam Lee just struggling for... Struggling around that right-hander, can't keep full throttle. I don't know if that's just his setup or he's just not confident enough. But Darkstorm said it could be Darkstorm domination, like it was in Britain, and that is certainly the case so far. Here we go, Adam Lee, once again, he likes that inside line. Around turn 6. Here come... Going to pull out on Hayes. Try and go down the inside. The defending car every time wants that outside lane. It is a tricky one. It tends to favour the person on the outside, unless the person on the inside is considerably ahead, like Adam Lee was there. These three basically just battling for E2. They're not going to be battling for the win at all unless there is another safety car, or Darkstorm of course makes a mistake, a big mistake. Alan gets the move done on Lembow down the DRS straight. As Hayes looks to try and get the move into turn 1. Is she going to back out of it? Yes, she does. Takes a brave person to go side by side through turns 1 and 2. on those two off camber corners. Hayes again. This time Adam Lee taking that wider line. But Hayes getting the better exit, and Hayes is going to try and fly back past with the DRS. And we'll get the job done before the braking zone. As Lembow pits again. Adam Lee looking to try and get the switch back once again. Hayes is going to make him go round the outside. And that's the first time we've seen Adam Lee actually go flat out around that long right hander, but Hayes hangs it around the inside. And we'll keep P2 for now. Meanwhile, this is a great race for Blaine so far. Up in the top 4, meanwhile, that guy's down in P10. Championship rival. Gaining 11 points on him, and that guy picks up his second track limits penalty. Blaine's basically just got to sit behind these two and just hope that they make a mistake or they come together. But Adam Lee's too far back to try and get past Hayes on this occasion. Meanwhile, Alan and Halo battling. Alan's going to try and go for the move into turn 1. Halo's going to try and hang around the outside, which will become the inside turn 2, but Alan right around the outside, but they're still side by side. There's another spin for Xhaka, and still they're side by side. More contact, but Alan gets by. And now Ted's just followed Xhaka and spun in the same place. Both Alfa Romeos having the same spins. They now find themselves behind that guy. Ted's going to now try and attack that guy. No, he's not. That guy already less than 10% EOS and 6 seconds of pens. He's off track again, and that's invited Ted. Oh, so close to making contact there. Ted really having to slam on the brakes to make sure that guy didn't swipe his front out away from him. And now Ted's lost the rear end himself. Back to the front, here comes Adam Lee round the outside of Hayes, but Hayes brakes much later. This is the first time we've seen them go side by side through that chicane, and they're still side by side as they head down the straight. Drastic Blaze has had his second spin of the race. And now Xhaka's spun again. No, it's Fat Ted who spun at turn 2. And these two still side by side, more contact, and that's allowed Blaine through. So the two Alpha Tauris working very nicely together. They are, of course, battling the two Alpines in the Constructors' Championship as well. It is currently Alpine 49 points ahead of the Alpha Tauris in that battle. But what will the two Alpha Tauris do? Blaine, of course, second in the championship before this race. Adam Lee said in the past that he's willing to do team orders if Blaine is considerably quicker. what they could try and do is try and tow each other back towards Darkstorm, although that would be quite hard to do, being that he is 10 seconds ahead in front. It's been another spin for Chicken Rosary, and now that guy's in the pit lane again and is now sped. So that's 11 seconds for that guy. But Blaine will go past that guy as Chicken Rosary spun again. The Alpha Tauri's going to battle, so there isn't team orders. Adam Lee going to be on the inside of Blaine. Chicken Rosary now speeds in the pit lane as well and retires in the pit lane. But it's Adam Lee who came out on top in the Alpha Tauri battle. Although this battle was sure to continue on for the rest of the race. We have seen Adam Lee likes a bit of an undercut. So we'll see if that happens again. Battling again. Adam Lee trying to squeeze Blaine on the outside. Slightly moving under braking as Xhaka's spun again. We have the person in P8 who's spun about 5 times in this race. Classic Blaze himself has spun twice and is still in P6. But Blaine too far back to launch an attack on Adam Lee, who has no ERS already. Although Blaine's got a great exit, now he's used all of his ERS to get past him. Into the flat out right hander. Now they're Adam Lee almost pushing Blaine, and now he's got a great inside line. Now trying to go around the outside of the third to last corner. Still great battling between these two teammates. Although you just got to hope they don't come together, and as soon as I say that, what is Adam Lee doing now? Blaine tags the rear end of Adam Lee, and that could be a 5-second time penalty for Adam Lee. As soon as he gets spun, he tries to cut the corner to get into the pit lane. But yeah, I was just saying, you don't want these two to collide being teammates, and then a second later they've just gone and done that. If that's not a commentator's curse, then sorry, Alpha Tauri. And it's another spin, and it's an Alfa Romeo once again. It's Fat Ted. Alfa Romeos are in double figures for spins in this race already. And Adam Lee has come out behind Charlie. So Charlie making that pit stop under the VSC. And he is definitely in the battle for podium places at the moment. It's another spin for Alan, who... I'll reset the track. Darkstorm now pits from the lead of the race. So will Blaine and Hayes follow him? Blaine has. Hayes is trying to do the overcut. Hayes has nothing to lose. Trying something different to Blaine. So he wouldn't get the overtake done just on in the pit lane itself. Adam Lee, now he's got his tyres up temperature, going to be trying to attack Charlie Dorr, Blaine did come out 5 seconds in front. So that's how much time Adam Lee lost from his spin and cutting the corner into the pit lane. And now he's got a time penalty as well. I said he does have a tendency to pick up penalties. And he's just gone and done that. But at the moment, it just hasn't got enough ERS to try and launch an attack on Charlie. And once again, just lacking the ERS is Adam Lee. Meanwhile, Charlie's sitting on around 36%. Hayes once again. Hayes is staying out again. He's trying to do multiple lap overcut. And once again, Charlie stays ahead of Adam Lee as Darkstorm is now battling Godzilla, and they've come together. The man who had a 12-second lead and was way out in front, trying to be a little too optimistic with the overtake on Godzilla, spinning them both, and that 12-second lead is now down to 3.5 seconds. And that has really changed this race from being just a walk away for Darkstorm. He's now got to try and build up that 12-second gap once again, as Adam Lee's had a half spin. He's now lost 2.5 seconds to Charlie. Darkstorm lucky to get away with that without damage. As Godzilla will now pit, both Hasses pitting on lap 17. Where will Hayes come out in relation to Blaine? I think it's going to be behind. So the overcut hasn't worked out at all for track position. But of course Hayes is on much newer tyres, which towards the end could be very handy indeed. So it's now only 8 seconds separate the top 3, when before it was 12 seconds separating the top 2. But once again, ever since in that last lap, Darkstorm still pulled them another second to Blaine. Now I've got no one once again in DRS apart from that guy on Halo. Championship leader having a miserable day, all the way down in P11. He's going to turn that into P10 on track, but he does have 11 seconds of pens. That guy's going to have to keep hurrying on. He is going to lose 17 points to Blaine at the moment, which will make Blaine the championship leader once again. And Alan getting a great exit, flies past Xhaka. I think Xhaka's going into pits. Yes, he is. See Xhaka struggling on, and he's spending the pit lane now as well. See him struggling on those old hard tyres. Well, that's another point for that guy. Adam Lee once again trying to catch up to Charlie. He's gained 8 tenths over the last 2 laps. Of course, he does have that 3-second time penalty as well hanging over him. See, Fat Ted's retired in the pit lane now, so down to 12 drivers. And Hayes sets the fast lap with 33.8, so Hayes trying to chase down Blaine for P2. Darkstorm once again just flying off into the distance. Drastic Blaze are going to have to watch out for Fat Ted's AI here. Yep. Goes around the outside, but what's Godzilla going to do? Having to get right off the track. We've seen Godzilla get killed by the safety car before. He almost got getting killed by an AI added to that list as well. Definitely helped him out a little bit. He's closer to Blaze. As an effect of the AI. So it's gap staying around 1.4. But Hayes now back within DRS range of Blaine in the battle for P2. I think Hayes just too far back to make the move done on this occasion. Hayes closing Lane down those much fresher tyres. Just having much more pace as Xhaka's now spun. I think that's just after coming out of the pit lane. Is Hayes going to try and get the move done into final corner? No, she's not. Xhaka's spun again. Going to find himself a lap down if he continues. Him and Lembao. Within about 10 seconds of getting a lap down as here comes Hayes down into the inside of turn 1 as she backs out of the move. Hayes do that were in the track limits warning for Hayes. Just wandered over the white line. And again for Blaine this time. But Hayes, 2 tenths closer this lap around. But Blaine just has a lot of straight line. Hayes barely catches him at all down the straight with DRS. Charlie picks up a 3-second time penalty, and it started to rain here. I wasn't expecting, I didn't know what the weather was going to be for the race, but we do have late rain. We saw rain in Canada, which is of course where Adam Lee won by, well, he had a 12-second time penalty and still won the race. And how quickly will it get intermediate weather if it does? Saw in Division 2 last week in Austria, it was a similar timing and it became inters weather within half a lap. And Charlie is banking on it being the same thing. Onto the intermediates, as does Blaze and Godzilla also pitting. As DRS is disabled and they might have just timed this perfectly. So I wondered if it could be within half a lap it becomes wet, and it has done. Just look at the track already. Shaka is now a lap down. Darkstorm still managing alright on those dry tyres. We'll watch the gap between Charlie and Adam Lee. It's 21.3 when it came out the pit lane. And yeah, it's already coming down. It's already dropped half a second in Sector 1 alone. Shows Charlie could be right up there with Hayes and Blaine. As Hayes has managed to get past Blaine and Jacques is in the middle of the road. And Godzilla's out. Godzilla's lost it. On the straight. And this could be a safety car. Jacques has round again. Godzilla's lost it onto the left-hand kink. He's lost the rear end and slid into the barrier and bounced back on track. Adam Lee picks up another time penalty. It's going to be no safety car or anything. Darkstorm has stayed out on medium tyres. Is he going to try and go to the end on these mediums? Surely not. Adam Lee pits for a front wing change, so he must have picked up damage in that battle with Charlie. But overall, it's still Charlie 5 seconds behind Blaze and Hayes. And Blaine has jumped Hayes in the pit stops. Darkstorm has a 25-second lead, but he is on medium tyres. Meanwhile, everyone else is on inters and the track is wet. If Darkstorm doesn't pit this lap, he might have just lost himself to win. Yeah, he's got to pit. Look how much he's struggling. He's lost 4 seconds on this lap. Darkstorm he's not even going to come out in the lead of the race anymore. Yeah, he has to pit. But he's going to come out in P3. Jacques round again. As he does. Yep, Darkstorm pits. But like I said, he's left it way too late. He's going to come out behind Blaine and Hayes. So the man who's dominated this race had a 12-second lead after the first stint, then had contact with Godzilla, which lost him 8 seconds, to then trying to stay out on dry tyres in the wet, and he's now dropped down to P3. He's going to come out behind Charlie even. Charlie could get a debut podium, although he does have those 3-second time penalty hanging over him. So Darkstorm. Normally Red Bull are the guys you want to be for strategy. on this occasion, looks like they've hired some Ferrari mechanics. And Hayes now picks up a 3-second time penalty. On the left hand, Kate just trying to go too fast for it to get a good exit. So try and attack Blaine for the race lead. Of course, that 3-second time penalty now is going to make it much more difficult. We could basically just got to force Blaine into getting one. Keep the pressure on him, hope he makes a mistake. That guy up into P8 now. So he has got 6 more seconds of pens than Halo does. Charlie himself, he's still got that time penalty from when he's spent in the pit lane, so he's got 8 seconds, so that's going to ruin his podium. As Xhaka's spun again. We saw in Austria, Blaine crashed on the final lap from a podium position. I think it might have been on, it was either the final lap or the penultimate lap. And Jacques has spun again. Blaine's lost the rear end there, he's managed to save it. Blaine's got to do everything he can to forget about that Austria race and what happened on that penultimate lap. And just try and focus on bringing it home this time. So he will take back the championship lead. Meanwhile, his championship rival's only going to be picking up 2 points. Compared to Blaine's 25. As Blaine comes on to start the final lap. Still got Hayes pressuring him from behind. As Darkstorm looks to try and get past Charlie on track. He will easily get Charlie after penalties. Charlie's got 8 seconds to Darkstorm's none. But on a day of what could have been for Darkstorm, could have easily won this race by 15 seconds plus if it weren't for that collision that when he was just slightly too ambitious with the move on Godzilla. And then of course his pit stop decision. He tried to hang it out on mediums despite everyone else pitting. Of course, lost him 10 seconds basically. Hayes is going to have to settle for P2. Unless Blaine makes a big mistake. Just 3 corners to go. Darkstorm's just going to settle behind Charlie as well, as there's yellow flags. Charlie ran out of fuel. Yes, he has. Charlie's ran out of fuel. Now Charlie, looking like he could have got P4. And now he's got a 10-second track limits penalty. But anyway, it's Blaine who wins the race. Ahead of Hayes, and Darkstorm Heartbreak for him, only getting P3. Is Adam Lee going to get Charlie to the line? No, he's not. But Charlie's got like 20 seconds of penalties in the end. Somehow. He runs out of fuel and then gets a 10-second time penalty for cutting the corner. So we'll see him finish down in 6th. Blaze will go up to P5 after penalties. And you'll see Alan in P7. That guy will push the line in P8, but it will only get P9 after penalties. And we wait for Lembao. Finally crossed the line. We did lose Xhaka in that race at the very end there as well at some point. And Lembao trying to make himself spin and crash across the line, but he's failed. So let's get the top 3 in the party. Oh yeah. So we got Hayes in the party and Darkstorm just waiting for the new championship leader Blaine to join. There we go, we got Blaine in the party now as well. So we'll start off with Darkstorm for the podium interviews, and that was kind of heartbreaking for you, I guess, having that massive lead, and then of course you had that collision which saw most of that wiped out, and then of course at the end, what was your thinking behind those medium, so like trying to stay out on those medium tyres?
Oh, did you talk to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking if the guy in my back who will pit or no. And when I saw it there pit, I'm like, oh shit, I let the first place to Blaine. And this was really unfortunate. And the Haas car, not I don't know what his name, just Ace. It's not him, but his teammate just don't let me pass, and I spin with her, and I break out my front wing. I finished the race with front wing damage. It's the only reason why I didn't want to pit when my engineer asked it.
Uh, I thought you might have gotten away with that collision without any damage, but turns out you didn't in the end then.
Yeah.
So, yeah, yes, it's a disappointing race from you in the end after sure you thought you were going to win it quite easily after that first stint. And moving on to second place. So, Hayes, sure you'll be happy with P2. Just talk me through your race.
Oh yeah, I had some cracking battles with the likes of Blaine and Adam Lee. I was just enjoying it. I couldn't catch Darkstorm. After me and Adam Lee started battling, that was it. He was just pulling away, and yeah, it's unlucky for him to get caught up in a collision. But my takes on it, a guy does not have to yield just because they're on older tyres. He was trying to help me because I'm his teammate. I just want to just clarify that. He doesn't. That's just my thoughts on that. But other than that, yeah, great race. I tried to stay out until the rain came, but it didn't come, so I ended up pitting. I wanted to pit for softs, but I didn't have any new ones, so I went mediums, unfortunately. But I'll take P2. I'm happy with P2.
Yeah, it's a nice solid drive from you. And
Thank you.
as we go to the race winner, Blaine, starting down in P8, and once again you've come through to win the race and take back your championship lead. Just talk me through it.
Yeah, well, I didn't really have the pace all through qualifying the race, and I'd like to just firstly again apologise for like the slight topper I had with my teammate. Obviously, he won't be happy with that, and it could have changed the result, but it also might have panned out different for him and him not getting P1 or 2. But overall, it was the rain saved me really because I was nowhere, and the only reason his was ahead. The only reason that his was ahead because I've obviously had a collision with Darkstorm, so that dropped them into the pit window, and then obviously she caught just as DRS was disabled, but then I managed to somehow get past on the way into the pit lane, and that kind
That
of
was a bit
was
naughty.
was that. But I stayed
Bit
within
naughty.
the white lines, but
Mate, I got a warning for hitting you. Like, I was just being cautious. It was a bit naughty because you literally wasn't side by side until we hit that white line. Like,
well,
and
had
then
all, but then
so
the
I
game
might be
just
sending a clip
ghosted
in.
me in front, so
Yeah, but you hit me and I got a warning for it. So I might be sending a clip in. No offense to you,
oh,
buddy. We'll see.
that's the yellow flag I see at the end. Is it
We'll
there?
see. But other than that, like I said, cracking battles up and down the field, like between you guys and whatnot. Unfortunate for you and Adam Lee to come together as well, but that's just racing, in my opinion. It happens. And yeah, we move on, right? On to the next one. That's how I look at
Yeah,
things.
gonna see my back next race.
We'll see.
You're not
We'll see
gonna
if I'm here.
you're gonna see my back. I promise.
Surely they don't want to see your back because you'll be
Oh, they
so
are
far out
gonna
in
see.
front.
That's probably that. Yeah, I think yeah, that could be this.
Yeah. So yeah, join us next week for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Darkstorm's confident for it.
I was hungry.
Blaine.
Ooh. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
I will take my
Blaine
9 pole
won here in
position.
France before penalties, but we'll see if stewards take that away from him. Hayes wants that win. But hope to see you next week to join us again in Division 3. We do have Division 4 in an hour's time. And then we will have McEwen tomorrow and Division 1 on Monday, sorry. So hopefully see you there. Hopefully you